I knew Malcolm X was a civil rights activist who was murdered. Um, I knew that one of his right hand people that helped him with the civil rights movement was Yuri Kochiyama, which is a Japanese um, activist also for Asian Americans during the whole Black Power and Yellow Peril movement.
He was all about black autonomy.
Uh-huh.
For black liberation movements.
One of the greatest civil rights leaders of all time, in my opinion.
Go. I would
Uh-huh.
argue that he pioneered a lot of the conscious thought that goes into the black movements and Latino movements as well. He really like set a standard, and like people really strive to be more because of him.
Bias, but like total agreement. Like as soon as I started reading like that first sentence, like total agreement.
Yeah, I would argue that his main message that he was attempting to convey was obviously it was a very direct message. Was like with the white man being similar to the devil, right? Because those are things that like he has been like framed to say or has said in the past before. But the point is that like the whole speech itself was very direct and like very simple and easy to understand.
At that time, it is hard to grab the attention of the white man to actually pay attention to these kinds of problems. I myself am not black, so I can't really speak on behalf of how black people felt at that time, but I know during that time there was a huge push also for Asian Americans to go back to their home country because it was that whole movement of Chinese people in California building railroads and whatnot, being brought over here and all.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, colonialism. Absolutely, colonialism was pioneered by the white man. Disease, slaughtered millions of Native Americans.
Genocide.
Yeah, it's genocide right there. For Latinos, I would argue that we weren't the main individuals who were targeted to help build America.
And I don't want to even say that. I don't want to say that this code wasn't meant for us, but it was kind of towards Black America.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do actually. It still applies.
That's a very difficult question to answer. Like from my perspective, just because I'd be identifying as Latino, it builds a lot of barriers for me, since I wasn't one of the main oppressed groups during the time of of colonial America being built. Although we did Mexico, modern day Hispana Mexico, whatever you want to call it, did own a big chunk of that. Of the United States, it's still very complicated to answer that, but I would argue that Black America had the worst repercussions, in that's who he was targeting and speaking of. And the fact that it was so simple to understand is the reason why we're still talking about this guy today. He hit the point straight to the thigh.
He was very controversial.
Dude, just straight, point, he touched people. He knew how to speak to people.
There were no hidden messages.
Yeah, this dude was he told you how it was.
He came, yes. And yeah, he even had an interview where he told him straight up. It was Malcolm X, YX, because I don't know my last name.
He was smart.
Straight up. And they created a comment. And because the white man didn't like him.
Dude, that video was dope. Are you talking about when they were interviewing him and trying to sell him up?
Yeah.
I know what you guys talking about. Dude, I haven't watched that video.